Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome to my very first Super Series Tuesday review. Very quickly, guys, I just want to say, if you don't know what it is already, a Super Series Tuesday is essentially every single Tuesday I'm going to review a movie from a series, starting from the first movie to the series, once every single week until we hit the end of the series. So, for my first series, I'm going to be tackling the Jurassic Park series. So, the first Jurassic Park. What can I say that hasn't already been said? The movie released in 1993. It was directed by Steven Spielberg and stars Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum. To summarize it very quickly, a wealthy man named Dr. John Hammond is attempting to open a park with dinosaurs. Yes, real-life dinosaurs that he has brought back to life with these insects that he found that carry dinosaurs' DNA. But the thing is, he can't officially open the park because lawyers are stopping them, and they won't allow it until he at least has a few reliable signatures that his park is safe and ready to open. Enter Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum. But of course, with real-life dinosaurs, life finds a way. On one stormy night, the power goes out and dinosaurs will roam. So quickly into the positives, guys. The cast, of course, the three I've already named like 4 times, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, are all absolutely fantastic. Sam Neill and Laura Dern are a couple, they're paleontologists, they spent their whole life researching and digging up dinosaur bones, and you believe it too. These guys have so much to say about these creatures. It is absolutely phenomenal. I truly believed as I was growing up, and even now, they still totally sell the fact that they know these creatures inside and out. They make a perfect couple. Sam Neill is a little more uptight. He doesn't really like kids all that much, but Laura Dern's character kind of balances them out. They work very nicely as a couple. They take their jobs very seriously, but they know how to have fun, and they totally sell it on the first time that they see dinosaurs. Sam Neill, oh wow. The first look that he has when he takes off his sunglasses and hops out of that Jeep, it is crazy. You truly believe by the look on his face that he is seeing dinosaurs in real life, and it is amazing. And of course, Jeff Goldblum, what isn't Jeff Goldblum good in, honestly? And of course, it also gave us this sexy Goldblum meme, which, you know, has gone down in history. His Ian Malcolm is absolutely phenomenal. He has a one-liner for every and any situation in this movie, whether it's amazement, it's terrifying, or it's just plain hilarious. He is possibly even the best part of this movie, honestly, guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. He made me laugh throughout the entire movie. The supporting cast is also phenomenal. The 2 kids in the movie are absolutely fantastic. Sometimes you can get some really crappy kid actors. These guys, definitely not the case. They do a great job. And of course, Richard Attenborough's John Hammond is great, Samuel Jackson and Wayne Knight. These guys, they give phenomenal performances as well, and I really do believe without this cast and without them selling that they are in this environment and in these situations as well as they do, this movie would not have reached the iconic status that it now holds. Continuing on, the practical effects in this movie are top of the line, and that is why directors, writers, whoever, if you're watching out there, practical effects, that is the way to go. If at all possible, spend the extra penny, get practical effects, guys, because you have a movie that's almost 30 years old and it still looks just as good as when it first released in theaters. That's what sells the movie for a lot of the part 2, is the fact that these dinosaurs look so real when they're up close. The CGI we'll get into later, but the practical effects are some of the best to date in the film industry. Next is the sound design, is some of the best in film history. I'm gonna keep saying that because it's true. Without these creatures sounding the way they do, without the sound design in this movie, it would not be what it is. And that takes me right into my next point, and that is that the dinosaurs feel so damn real in this movie. Again, all because of the practical effects, the animatronics, and of course, the sound design. They tie together so nicely. You really feel like there are dinosaurs roaming in this movie. Like, I watched this movie now, almost 30 years later, and I believe it just as much as I did when I was a little kid. Next is the fact that the park feels so real. It feels just like Disney's Animal Kingdom, except it's not animals of the jungle, it is prehistoric dinosaurs. Whether it is the enclosures that the dinosaurs are in, or the tour that they take, or the lunch boxes, the plush toys, even the writings and drawings on the wall, it really does feel like this is a real, believable park, and that is something that is hard to sell. Even nowadays, some movies really do not hit that, but these guys hit it home. Next is the fact that I like how this movie shows both sides of dinosaurs. First and foremost, they are animals. And, you know, not all of them want to eat you. Some of them are just herbivores, in which they eat vegetables. And, you know, that's what Sam Neill gets. That's what they make us believe, is that these creatures, they're not just these ferocious beasts like sometimes these children might think. But then it also takes us to the other side of dinosaurs, which is my next part, and that is the fact that they can really be monsters. Now, I'm not going to try to get into too many spoilers, but there is a T-Rex in this movie. It's on the cover of the movie. You know there's going to be a T-Rex. But the whole scene when you first see the T-Rex, man, oh man, that thing is a beast. It still gives me chills to this day. When I was rewatching it, I was just like, oh my god, like, this is fantastic. And next is the kitchen scene. I'll say that. If you know what I'm talking about, then, well, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The kitchen scene is one of the most intense scenes I've ever laid my eyes on. I don't want to get into too much detail in case you either haven't seen the movie in a long time or you've never watched it, but once you get into the kitchen, oh yeah, no, that's some intense filmmaking. And next is just the fact of how iconic the movie is. Just some of the shots, some of the lines have really all tied it so nice and neatly together that the whole movie has become one of the most iconic in film history. The poster is one of the most recognizable. The cup of water scene in which the T-Rex is stamping, you see the cup of water slowly just go crazy, and it has been mimicked time and time again. That cup of water is going to live on forever, along with Jeff Goldblum's line, probably his most famous line in his film career, a line that is still carrying over into the sequels even now with the newly releasing Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and that is that life finds a way. And last but certainly not least, for the icon status, is John Williams' score. That's what the beginning was. You know it, you've heard it time and time again. It is right up there with Star Wars and Indiana Jones. It is one of the most memorable themes in film history, and this time, even though I've said it a lot, I really honestly mean it. And last is the ending. I forgot how amazing this ending is, and again, I'm gonna say it, it's one of the best in film history. You feel satisfied with where the characters end up, but it doesn't tie it into a neat little bow where a sequel is forced, nor does it feel like we need a sequel in order to finish the story. Next is the negatives. There really aren't that many. They're more so nitpicky, but that's again the CGI. Of course, when people first saw this in theaters back in '93, it was probably the most amazing thing they'd ever laid their eyes upon. They were probably just like, wow, we are looking at dinosaurs right now. But a lot of the CGI really doesn't hold up. It holds up fairly well on the T-Rex and the Velociraptors for the most part. And the next thing is just a little nitpick for me. After me preaching and preaching about how good the sound design is, it really bothers me when a T-Rex can sneak up on all of our heroes like it's nothing and they don't hear a single thing. Also, the last little nitpick, and it's really a nitpick because I don't really even agree with it myself, but it is something that I feel like should be addressed, and that is the first half of the movie can get boring, but it is actually in fact necessary to set up the story, to set up the characters. But the first real like dinosaur action, I guess I could call it, doesn't really even happen until a little over an hour into the movie, and the movie's only 2 hours long. So to summarize very quickly, guys, the positives for this movie is the cast is fantastic, the practical effects are some of the best in the film business, and that is why you should use practical effects and not CGI for everything. The sound design is phenomenal. This movie could be sold solely on the sound design. It feels like a real park, and the story is so believable. I really do think that this is the way that dinosaurs could come back. Obviously, it's not true, but they do a great job at selling it to us. You're seeing both sides of the dinosaurs. You see them as animals and creatures that are just there to live their life. They want to be left alone, but then you also see that they are monsters, and that's where scenes come in, like the T-Rex scene and the kitchen scene. And overall, like I said, is one of the most iconic films in history. Has one of the most iconic posters, logos. You have the cup of water scene, the theme, and you have Jeff Goldblum's life finds a way line. And of course, the ending is perfect. That's all I'm going to say about it. It is perfect. You have to watch it. And the quick negatives are that the CGI doesn't always hold up. The sneaky Rex, as I like to call them, which like I said, really annoys me. And the first half of the movie, although I didn't find it boring, I feel like it's something that should be emphasized. Just keep in mind that the first hour of the movie can be slow at times. So for all those reasons, I could just give the movie this score on icon status alone. I'm so glad I rewatched it, and if you haven't watched it in a long time, rewatch it. If you haven't seen Jurassic Park ever, why? Please watch it. Go and watch it. So overall, guys, I'm going to give the first Jurassic Park film a 9 out of 10. So guys, if you like this video, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know, what do you think is the most iconic moment from the first Jurassic Park film? And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and that's a wrap.